welcome to the last meeting of the 2018-2019 school year and the third Court of Honor year for Troop 284. So, for flag ceremony, color guard, advance.
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
I'm going to call Michael Gooditza. What? You're getting 2 merit badges. You're getting aviation and nuclear science. But I think there's a story behind how you could have taken this long to get the aviation merit badge when your dad teaches it. I want to hear it.
Well,
look at me.
I just never really, I don't know. The first time I had an experience with my dad teaching a merit badge, it didn't really go over well. Not because he was not good at teaching, just because that I wanted to fish more. So at Winnoxet one time, he was teaching the engineering merit badge for Cub Scouts during Weebos Woods, and I just decided not to go. That was really bad of me. I should have been there for my dad, but I just haven't received the aviation merit badge because I during merit badge college a couple months ago.
You can go to it and you can just basically earn science-related merit badges, like the aviation merit badge, or engineering, or anything else like that.
Very good. Where is it hosted?
That place.
You know?
Yeah, I knew that. I always paid attention.
Okay. Well, congratulations on that.
So what was either easy or difficult about earning that rank?
Well, what was easy about earning tenderfoot was some of the more or less tying knots and that stuff. We covered that in meetings, so it was easier for tying those knots because there was simple-ish enough for me to get good. So they were doing a challenge. And the hard thing was doing the exercise continuously for a month due to doing exercise from at least doing 20 trying to do how many push-ups I could do and trying to improve on every single time. Every time I improve a record, it's tough pushing your body every single day. That's what I take away from that.
Ron. So you've got the rank of tenderfoot. Okay. And so what's the next rank after that? Second class. Good. And so tell me one thing that you have to do to get this tenderfoot rank.
I think Mike already said it, but the fitness one,
Is that the hardest thing?
probably, like, just say not, I think Mike already said that, so
Okay, what was the median?
maybe everything else.
Okay. Great. Okay.
please. Declan. Please join me. Oh, I got a couple of things. Both for you. I think I'll go ahead and we'll do them both right here. You both achieved the rank of scout, and you've also earned the fireman's chip. Now, tell our guests here a little bit about the fireman's chip and what you had to learn and what that does for you.
To earn the fireman's chip, you have to make a fire and keep it running for 5 minutes. And if you can keep it running, you can earn the fireman's chip.
Why is that important?
Important because you want to know about like how you can make a fire, so you can
What do we do with the fire? What's it?
food and explosives.
You're on the right track. We cook, we keep warm. It's social. So, congratulations, and I hope you take a lot of opportunities to use that fireman's chip. Congratulations.
Tell me, Griffin, in earning your fireman's chip, did they make you jump over the fire?
No.
That would be a good thing or a bad thing?
Okay.
Okay. So what's one of the things that we do with a fire when we're ready to either go to sleep at night or we're done with the campsite and we're ready to leave? What's one of the things that we do? Yep. And And as far as Scout goes, can you tell me what's one of the things that you found hard in learning the Scout?
Learning some of the knots because
What kind of knot?
because I kept doing the square knot and then developed for two television.
Gotcha. Okay, well, congratulations.
Our last award of the night, or awards of the night, Will Haynes. So Will is getting both the Scout rank and the Tenderfoot rank tonight. That's a lot. Yeah. So tell me something that you didn't like about the Scout. Feel like Will.
And if it looks like old 284 night in our audience tonight, there's a reason. Mr. Guditz, will you join me up front, please? As many of you know, Paul stepped down after about 5.5 years as Scoutmaster. Recently, David became our Scoutmaster at that time. Paul was in the unenviable position of having to take over after the previous Scoutmaster literally quit. And Paul, you've been at everything for us. You've done a yeoman's job for us over the years. I think I first met you in about 2007. You and Paul's older son, Eric, Eric was a 7-year Weeblo at the time, and Paul you were Cub Master for Little Paxton Town at the time. I think you and Eric still hold Be Broken for the number of visits to a troop while still a Weeblo, which was how many?
I believe that was 9.
9, okay.
You can ask Eric Denenberg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I probably was here, but I should. And since then, we did a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
I think we hiked in about every direction from here that there is. North at Monadnock in the White Mountains, Cardigan. West at Greylock, which we just completed. We've Herkimer. a lot. Combine that with a lot of close-in stuff, trips to Knobscott, trips to Camp Acton. You're always there for us. But that only gets it started. The community service, the fundraisers, and most importantly, the troop meetings every Thursday night. The PLCs once a month. You were at district roundtables, you brought information back to us from them, you were always kept informed. Paul did it all for us. Paul worked hard as Scoutmaster, and that's why I've invited so many of you to come by tonight to recognize Paul for his accomplishments. We have a little something for you. Hashi, I would like you to open that. Well, heck, sure, why not? In the meantime, while Paul's opening that, there's a couple of cards up here. One is very thoroughly signed and the other not at all. If you had a chance to sign a card for Paul already.
I had the pleasure of going to Philmont with Paul and his son back in 2012. And we actually ran 2 sister crews. So we had 14, or even more. We had
The 2 crews of about 10 on average.
Yeah, so, and anyway, we had 2 sister crews, and I initially wasn't in Paul's group. I was in a different group with other scouts, and for some reason, all of the scoutmasters that were in Paul's group were dropping like flies. We had one of them who didn't make the bus on our departure. And then we had one who had a toothache, right?
Abscess tooth.
An abscess
on
tooth.
day 2.
On day 2. And so all of a sudden, I think you were all by yourself, right?
Yes.
And so I was asked to join Paul's group for a couple of days, which I said, sure, no problem at all. So I joined your group, and then what happened that day on our long walk north through
Yes.
intense
You do not want to hike in 95-degree weather
with,
without changing your socks every 2 hours.
especially if you're wearing leather boots, right?
Yeah, so I went 4 hours instead of 2.
And I have never seen blisters on somebody's feet like ended up on your feet that evening.
Yeah, I think you did a photo document.
The entire trip, which was like 80 miles or something like that?
85 or something.
Yeah, 80, 85 miles. I don't know how you did it on those feet, but that was great. So, I'm sure you have good memories of your dad on that trip. What did you think of his feet?
They were disgusting.
So anyway, I'll always remember that, Paul, and as well as, I used to do a lot. I used to go on a lot of trips, but every single one of them I think I went on, you were there. I mean, it's like there was not an event, at least a local event, that you weren't participating in. So thank you for your service, and I know Rowan enjoyed his time in the troop with you as Scoutmaster. So thank you so much.
My name is Mary Spinoza Wilson, and we go back to Cub Pack 70 when we had 120 kids in the auditorium at Acton Congregational Church, and you did everything there for the kids, for your own, for ours, for everyone. And then when it was time for you to come to the troop, I kept on saying, you want to come to 284, right? Come on, come to 284. And of course, Paul went a gazillion times to every one of the troops.
I didn't get to decide. It was
That was good. But that's great, because I think Troop 284 did everybody here well. We organized, I don't think I did a whole lot of trips with you, but I was the organizer at the beginning with Tom and Steve to organize the trips, and you were on the roster on everything that we ever did. Philmont, Did you go, I think you went to Seabase?
No, I did not do Seabase.
You did not do Seabase. What was the group?
Mary, I believe 3 Mass Jams.
Oh, that's
Three
right.
Mass Jams, yes.
That's right, Mass Jam. You were just always there, a part of the troop, and coming back tonight, I felt I was coming home. Because I saw all these people, and I'm like, wow. Because we spent our life together, it was 25 years in the troop. So, congratulations, and I sent a message to my son Randy, who's probably still working. He's a wilderness biologist in Montana, and he's an Eagle Scout from the troop, and you touched his life. A lot of people touched his life. I just texted him on the way over, saying, I'm going to see Paul off, so he sends his best.
Thanks, Mary.
When I became a Boy Scout and came into this troop, I didn't have to worry about like being homesick or anything, going on campouts or worrying or like anything I needed was there because you were always there. Every campout, every little event, and you always tried to like push me to like continue to rank up and advance, and it just like you being there like enabled me to have a good experience, but it also like you enabled so many other scouts to like and learn like about the outdoors, scout skills, and just to have fun, and that like really that like means something. So thank you.
Thank you.
I mean,
I go back to PAC 70 days as well, and then we became PAC 1, and there was also a sudden leadership transition there, at which point in time you stepped up and you led there, and then on to here, Troop 284. We've gone on many adventures, many hikes, many campouts. You taught me to tie knots. You, along with some others, encouraged me to be a band leader. I did not do scouting. I never camped before in my life. So I'm truly grateful for all of the patience that you've shown myself and my son Kagan in teaching us along the way. I think one of my funniest memories was that camp out at Knobscot in the heated cabin. And it's about 7 degrees in the middle of January or February, and the heating was a fireplace that you fed yourself and a stove. And you had to haul your gear for, I don't know, half a mile up a hill in the woods, and as well as all the logs that you purchased. We were very worn out, it was very cold. And somebody fed the fireplace and burned up all the wood in the middle of the night, and woke up freezing, and I remember having to find logs on my way back from the outhouse, which was a unique experience.
And this was at 5 a.m.
Yeah, so, lots of great memories, and all you've done for the troop is truly amazing, and thank you. It has been a pleasure serving in the troop with you.
Thank you.
You remember Parker?
I do.
And some of you here remember Parker, a lot of you don't. Parker got his Eagle Scout 3 years ago, and he was in his last few weeks. I think he had 1 month left. And we, in our house, we had all given up on the idea of Eagle Scout. But Paul said, basically called us up. I don't remember how it happened exactly, but basically said, aren't you going to get that Eagle Scout? And so we had a meeting, Paul, Parker, and I, and we went through all the different requirements Parker hadn't met yet. And Paul found a way to help Parker get to the easiest path in order to meet the time. And Parker's a kid who has some challenges and some self-esteem hits because of that. Getting the Eagle Scout was one of the best things that could have happened to him. He went on to college, and it was very tough for him the first year, away from his family, away from the support he had. And he almost didn't make it. But I think that ultimately he is being successful today because he knew he could succeed. And he succeeded at Boy Scouts, and that's a really important thing for him. So thank you so much.
I met Paul in this church in the back. He was teaching aeronautics merit badge for my son, who is an Eagle Scout also from this group. First time I met Paul, I thought, oh, he's a quiet guy, right? And then later on, as I got to know him better, I found out that he's the most hardworking guy that you will ever meet. So as far as I know, he has gone to all the troop meetings and all the outings every month, and he has not missed any regular troop meetings and stuff like that. So we are blessed to have you in the community. I just wanted to come here and thank you for all your contributions to Troop 284 and to Acton and the community as a whole. So thank you.
Everyone is having a long time relationship with Paul, and we actually go way back to Gates. So my son Albert, who is right now halfway around the world, asked me to say thank you for all your help and support you gave him, and he's still scared every time you bring out the brown paper bag. But really, I have the opportunity to work with Paul as part of the troop for many years when Albert's here, and Mike and Eric talk about when they were in the troop, they feel at home. And I think all the scouts have the same feeling when Paul is the scoutmaster, because I can tell from my son's experience that he really feels a very supportive from Paul and obviously all the troop leaders, and it's a great experience and in large part because of your service to the troop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, of course, David.
Yeah, well, so I can't let this go by adding my personal thanks. So, Paul, thank you very much as a parent for being an excellent Scoutmaster for my son, but as the new Scoutmaster for not quitting on me and making this a nice smooth transition, right? So Paul and I talked about me being Scoutmaster quite a while ago, and I was Assistant Scoutmaster. We overlapped for quite a bit, but he really made the transition much, much easier than it would have been otherwise, right? And I knew fully what I was getting into. I'm not sure it was the right decision, but but thank you very much for not walking out. You can walk out now if you want.
Come up and take a look at the photo collage at some point. I worked with Rob Moran, who is an absolute artist. We put this together from pictures that we all dug out of our various files. And it is, well, Paul, I hope you like it. Let's just put it that way. So thank you. Thank you for all the time you put into that. It is really a beautiful piece of work. And once again, do come up and sign one of the cards. And you know what? Mary Ellen, you ought to come up.
Oh, no.
Oh, not at all? Okay, okay, I respect that.
Thank you anyway.
And, well, I'll just finish it there. Paul, let's keep doing this.